Good morning and welcome to English 101. I'm your professor Matthew Lobato, and in today's video lecture I will just be giving a brief overview of class, what to expect, an explanation of how we submit work and assignments, including your assignment for this week. So to begin, what to expect. What you can expect is this. What you have today is every Monday I will send a class email along with a video lecture that goes over the reading material and the assignments that you're expected to complete for that particular week. So as far as your obligations as a student are concerned for this class, what you need to do is you need to be checking your email daily, and in particular for this class again, since it is set up more or less as a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, I am going to be sending emails and or video lectures on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And typically your participation on Friday won't involve watching a video lecture or reading. It will be more than likely submitting a assignment, and for the first few weeks of class you will be submitting quizzes on those Fridays. Okay, so again, as far as the format of class is concerned, I'll treat it as a Monday, Wednesday, Friday class, meaning that I will send you a email and video lecture every Monday. Wednesdays, possibly another video lecture or reading assignment, and then on Fridays you can expect to submit your work or to submit some type of quiz, and that will be your participation for that day. Now, I know I'm recording this video lecture for two of my English 102 classes. One is completely online and the other is scheduled to meet in person on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And what I want to say about that is this. Given the circumstances and the uncertainty of right now with COVID, I don't necessarily want to speak too much about us returning back to class in person if you are in my in-person class. Honestly, as a university, we are hoping that we'll return back to in-person classes at the beginning of February, but there's still uncertainty there and we don't know for certain. So what I want to say is this. For the sake of consistency, we will keep this class online, whether it's scheduled to be online or not, unless I say otherwise. And the reason for that is I don't want to go through a few weeks of class online, us getting familiar with this format, only to change it and transition us back to in-person learning. And again, I don't know what your individual circumstances are like. I don't know what your work obligations are like if you have a job. So there's just too many variables, too much uncertainty right now, and that's why I'd like to keep class online in this format, because I think it will be easier, more consistent, and the material will be more accessible and reasonable for you. So to go along with that, we won't have any required Zoom meetings where we get together as a class. Again, given the variety of schedules, circumstances, responsibilities, etc., I just think it's very difficult to do that consistently right now. So what I found worked well last semester in my particular classes was to approach the course in terms of giving my students video lectures throughout the week that they can access at their own time and convenience. And then if we need to meet in person or talk one-on-one, I'm definitely open to scheduling Zoom meetings for that. So typically my office hours throughout the week are Monday through Thursday from 10 to 2. And so what I'll say is if you need to speak with me in person about anything that's important, anything concerning your success as a student, anything that you need to make me aware of that's preventing you from becoming successful in this class, or if you just want to go over the material for that week, the reading assignment, maybe you need some extra guidance or help or assistance with the written work that you are trying to complete for my class, I'm happy to schedule a Zoom meeting with you one-on-one to answer any questions you may have or to give you further guidance and assistance. So I still want to maintain that element of face-to-face communication if we are able to in those specific ways, and I'm definitely open to that. And all you need to do is email me and we'll set up a time and a date so that we can schedule a Zoom conference call and discuss whatever needs to be discussed, again, especially as it relates to your success as a student. Okay, so again, back to that brief overview of class. You can expect an email and or video lecture on Monday for sure. As far as a video lecture is concerned, Wednesdays I might give an additional video lecture to continue going over the material if I feel like it's necessary. But you can definitely expect at least an email from me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday reminding you of what you need to do, reminding you of the assignment, and again, giving you resources or additional instructions or information to help you in the completion of those weekly assignments. Okay? As far as your grade is concerned, your grade is basically broken up into 4 parts. The first part being your participation in the course, which again is you checking in daily with your email, which should be an expectation across the board for all classes, all students, all professors, is that we're constantly checking our email and maintaining that communication with one another in a professional manner. So that's just an expectation, is that you should be checking your email daily. Again, I will specifically for this class be sending emails and video lectures on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So make sure you're checking your email, especially on those days for my class. So a big part of your grade is your participation in this course, which again is checking in, watching the video lectures, reading the emails, and completing the assignments throughout the week. So that will be 30% of your grade. The other 70% will be your major writing assignments, which are your papers for this class. And you will have 3 papers roughly due at each third of the semester. So you can expect at the end of our first 5 weeks, you'll have your first major paper due. At the end of our second 5 weeks, you'll have your second. And at the end of the semester, week 15, you'll have your third paper due. In case you weren't aware, the semester is 15 weeks long. So more or less, I look at the semester as thirds, and each paper will be due at each third of the course. Okay, so one roughly due at the end of the first 5 weeks, the second at the end of the second 5 weeks, and then the third due at the end of the course. So your third paper actually is your final for this class. Okay, as far as what type of papers you'll be writing, this course again is a course obviously that focuses on writing, but to go along with that focus on writing, we will be exploring rhetoric. And by rhetoric, I mean persuasive language, aka argument. So the goal of this course is to analyze other writers and speakers' arguments and their persuasive strategies in supporting arguments, and in analyzing the experts and what they do, the best of the best as far as writing arguments are concerned. The goal is that in doing that analysis, we will become better writers in studying the strategies that other writers employ and implement into their writing. Okay, so the first 10 weeks of the course, more or less, we will be analyzing arguments, both written and visual. We'll get to a visual component of the class for the second 5 weeks, which I think you all will enjoy. And again, in doing that analysis, the goal is we ourselves will become better writers and be able to write better arguments. And so your final paper will be you writing your own argument. And a lot of the English 102 course is writing arguments and using the persuasive strategies, the rhetorical strategies that we learn about in this course to help us, again, write better papers in the English 102 course. So that's roughly an overview of the class. So what I would like to get into is something a bit more interesting, is what we will be reading for the first 5 weeks of class. And so for this week, and again, today it being Martin Luther King Day, I love being a teacher on Martin Luther King Day, especially a writing teacher, because Martin Luther King has given us some of the best examples of writing and persuasive speaking that we have ever seen in the history of our country. And the power and the impact of his persuasive language can still be felt to this day. So I love Martin Luther King Day because it gives us an opportunity to take a look at some of his great written work and some of his great speeches. And so that's what we will be working with this week, actually, is one of Martin Luther King's famous letters, the letter from Birmingham jail. And I don't know if any of you are already familiar with that letter because it is a classic and we often get exposed to it in classes like this, whether it be high school or college. But I'd like us to take a look at that leading into Wednesday's class because it allows me to teach some of the basic fundamentals and foundation of rhetoric because he employs all of the rhetorical strategies and techniques that we will study in this class in this one amazing letter. And again, that is Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham jail, which right now is uploaded to our class Blackboard page. As far as our class Blackboard page is concerned, I will mostly be using it to upload reading material, resources, and assignments. And you can find all of those links to those resources, text, reading material, assignments under the Getting Started link on the left-hand side of our class Blackboard page. And right now you will see two texts under there. The first being Martin Luther King's letter from Birmingham jail, and the second being the book that we will read after this week, which will more or less be our focus for the first 4 or 5 weeks of class. And that is this book, which is Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell. Outliers has been a book that I've probably gotten the most positive feedback from my students in the past of all the texts that we've read in my English 101 courses. For whatever reason, students seem to connect with and relate to this book the best. This is a book about success. And in fact, what it is it's an argument about success that the author Malcolm Gladwell makes. And I think just given where you guys are at in your lives, you guys have chosen to become college students because you feel like this is going to provide you with a path to your own success in life and becoming an expert at something or gaining an expertise with something that hopefully being potentially your career further down the line. I think this book just is a great read for a college student as far as bringing awareness to all of the factors and characteristics and qualities that contribute to individual success. So this book I have a link to again under Blackboard under the Getting Started link of the page, and you have access to a PDF file of this book for free. But what I will say is that if you're like me and you don't necessarily like to read off of a computer screen or a tablet, and you still like to read physical copies of books, if you purchase the book, I will give you extra credit for that. So if you decide to purchase this book online and order it this week, that'll give you plenty of time to get it before we get into next week and start really diving into this. If you want to purchase this book, I will give you extra credit for that. All you need to do is email me with your receipt or a picture of the book, and I'll give you extra credit for that. And I don't mind encouraging you all to purchase this book because it's relatively inexpensive and it's a book that's worth having in your own personal library. So those are the two texts that you need to be aware of moving forward. Is for this week, leading into Wednesday's class and lecture, what you need to do is read Martin Luther King Jr.'s letter from Birmingham jail. And all you need to do is read the first page leading into Wednesday's class. Because as far as your assignment for this week is concerned, it's mostly concerned with the first page of that letter. So as you will see, it is a bit of a lengthy letter, and you only need to read the first page for Wednesday. And your writing assignment will relate to what we read on the first page of that letter. Okay, and I'll get that to the assignment and how we submit that assignment here in a bit. Actually, let's go into it now. So as far as submission of work in this class, the way you will submit work is through a Google document. Okay, and I know most of my students are familiar with Google Documents. We've used them before in other courses. And as far as my class is concerned and my experience, Google Documents are just very convenient, consistent, and easy for both students and professors. And it's really easy for me to comment and give you feedback on your document, especially given our format with online learning right now. So um, as far as homework and classwork is concerned, you will submit all of your homework assignments in one single Google document that I will refer to as your class journal. And all you need to do is separate each of your homework assignments with a date and a title. So every one of your written responses, your entries in your class journal, all you need to do is separate with a date and title, and you will keep all of your classwork in the same document. And the reason I have you keep it all in the same document is just for convenience, to make it easier. So that way you don't have to send me a new document for each new assignment throughout the semester. And it'll just be easier to keep all of your homework, all of your participation assignments in the same Google document that I will refer to as your class journal. Your major writing assignments, the 3 papers I mentioned earlier, you will also submit through Google Documents, but those will be separate Google Documents from your class journal. So I hope that's not too confusing. I'm going to send you another video lecture after this one, giving you a brief tutorial on how to create that Google document. Again, I know many of us are familiar with that, but just for those of you that need a visual, I'll give you a brief tutorial showing you how to create that document, what it should look like, and I'll give you a student example for those of you that like an example to follow. Okay, so that's an overview of class, the format, what to expect moving forward, how to submit work. Again, I will send a tutorial, a video tutorial to you immediately after this video lecture showing you how to create that document, how to share it with me, and what that should look like. Okay. Back to communication again. Communication is very key given our circumstances. So make sure you're checking your email daily. I like to use email to give instructions and explanations for assignments because it's consistent. As we know, Blackboard presents problems as far as accessing it and it being down from time to time. So email, I will definitely use as far as sharing resources, giving you instructions on assignments, explanation, and just reminders of what you need to submit throughout the week. So I'll leave it at that. More than anything, I just hope that this is a positive experience for you. I know that online learning is not easy for all of us, myself included. Again, I would much rather be in the classroom with you guys face to face. That's where my passion as a teacher lies, is the interaction that a classroom brings. But at the same time, I know this is only temporary and that we definitely have the ability to make the most of this situation. And I feel like my students last semester that stuck with the class and kept up with the work did really well, and it didn't present any problems for us in any significant way where we weren't able to be successful with this course. So I want to do everything that I can to help you succeed. So please don't hesitate to ask me for help, to email me. And again, if you would like to speak with me one-on-one, face-to-face, we can definitely set up Zoom conference meetings and calls to do that so I can better help you be successful and do well in this course. Okay? I hope you all had a good break. I hope you're all well rested and ready to transition back to class. I hope your families haven't been hit too hard or affected too significantly by COVID. And I wish you all the best of luck this semester. I really look forward to working with you, and I will see you in the next video lecture.